Have you ever camped in your Tesla? After seeing how comfortable it was, have you ever wondered about how it would be to live in your Tesla? Today, we have a club member who not only wondered about it, he actually did it. Carson J. Gallo is a regional organizer in the Tesla Owners Club here on Long Island and lives in his Tesla. He's here today to tell us about his experiences. Without further ado, I'll turn the presentation over to Carson and hope you enjoy today's event.
Hello, everybody. Please enjoy my short introduction video on how to live in a Tesla, and then we'll get to your questions. Stand by for the video.
Good evening. My name is Carson J. Gallo, and this is my humble abode. It is a Tesla. So, how does one live in a Tesla? Well, the first thing you will need is the bed. And the only bed for me is the Dreamcase. With its superior pillows and memory foam. Every night I get a beautiful night of sleep. Couple mode. What is it? What does it do? You see, Tesla released a software update. Made things better in this Tesla. By having camper mode, you can leave the climate on all day and all night. You can keep it cool or you can keep it warm to your preferred temperature. Camper mode also allows all your DC and USB ports to remain powered. With this power, you can charge your phone, tablet, computer, even power your Xbox. Next up is storage. You must take advantage of every centimeter in your Tesla, every compartment, every nook and cranny. And if that's not enough, reach out to your allies. See if they have room for all your extra Tesla swag. And if not, a storage unit can come in great hand. Parking. Where will you park, you may ask? Why, charging stations, of course. They're open 24/7, they're safe, quiet, and have all the power you ever need. But if you live in New York like I do, weather can be a factor in where you park. How will you connect to the world? You see, it's simple. I carry an extra device with me, a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. Now that's a mouthful. Say that 5 times fast. It has a 5G hotspot, and with T-Mobile, I am grandfathered into infinite hotspots. Which leads us to entertainment. What to do during your R&R. One advantage of living in a Tesla is that you could target the surround sound. And sing along to the lyrics with karaoke. The Oculus, which brings me to a whole new world. And of course, Xbox, where you can play games like Grand Theft Tesla. Oh my! Movies and shows. For instance, right now I'm in the middle of a Nicolas Cage marathon. I'm in the cage with Nick Cage. Hygiene. How do I keep my body clean and smelling of beautiful flowers? Well, there's many ways to do this. You can shower at the homes of your allies, gyms, public facilities, and of course there's always the classic hobo bath with baby wipes. And of course the question you've all been waiting for, the bathroom. Where do I go? Well, wherever I stay, I always make sure there's a 24/7 facility available. Whether it's a convenience store, gym, hotel, or public facility. And privacy. How do you keep what others should not see out of their eyes? By using a combination of towels and tapestries. The cyber owls, they watch over me at night. And thanks to sunshades and blankets, what happens in the Tesla stays in the Tesla. And that will conclude this evening's entertainment. I thank you for joining me. This has been Carson J. Gallo, signing off.
That was pretty good. Very informative. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Go for it, Dan.
So why did you decide to live in a Tesla?
Well, I was tired of crappy cars and living in crappy homes. And so now I got an awesome car and an awesome home. Win-win.
Sure. So what have been the general pros and cons of it?
Pros, well, of course, I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to pay utilities anymore. So awesome pros right there. One con is, I wish I could have 24/7 access to a hot shower, but I still got the gyms. I still got my friends and family. I still got public facilities.
Has anyone ever bothered you?
I wouldn't say bothered, but thanks to living in a Tesla, I've definitely met a lot of cool people who I wouldn't have had the chance to before.
Very cool. Did you choose the Model X specifically for this in mind?
Yes. So at the time, I actually only had a choice between a Model S and a Model X. This was before the Tesla Model 3 came out. And of course, the Model X being the biggest made the most sense. And of course, I couldn't resist the Falcon wing doors here. They're beautiful when they open up.
Yes, they are. So did that all work out for you? Do you ever feel closed in that car?
No, not at all. I got enough room to fully stretch my legs. Here we go on my Dreamcase. I'm 5'10", and even if I was 6'3", I'd have enough room. I got plenty of room to sit up, thanks to the glass ceiling on the Falcon wing doors here. And even this has still got plenty of headroom right here.
Great. Do you always park in the same spot?
No, I like to rotate positions. Some places have more advantages over the other. Some places are quieter. Some places have faster charging. I like to switch it up every night.
Oh, great. So you really get around. So is there a favorite place you go to?
I do have a favorite place. I don't want to reveal my my secret hideaway to the world just yet, but it's super quiet. Charging is great speed, and it's got beautiful views.
Okay. All right. So why do you stick around in like New York? Why not to go to another state, like where it's
Yes.
warmer or nicer?
Yes, well, New York is the home for my home. It's where all my friends and family are. It's where my job with Tesla used to be. In fact, I used to work directly for Tesla.
Oh.
Now I work for another great company, Lyft, doing driver support. But you got to pay. You got to stick around for my 9-to-5 job, and so I could pay the Tesla bills. Still
Sure.
paying this thing off.
Sure. So without a permanent address, like how do you get things?
PO box. It's cheap, it's easy, and I got 24/7 access, and it's where I could pick up all my Tesla swag.
And one last question. You were saying you've done this for 3 years. With COVID-19 in the past year, did anything significantly change?
Yes, I had a little bit of a scare in my life where unfortunately I was laid off from my company, my position with Lyft. But same company hired me right back a few months later, bigger salary, all worked out for the best.
Oh, that's great. Great. All right. Well, thanks for that, Carson. That pretty much satisfies my questions. And let's open it up to the audience now. So audience, please, if you have any questions, use that chat icon at the bottom of your screen and type it in, please.
Do the chicks dig it?
They do.
And what would you say are your monthly living expenses now?
Just my monthly lease payments, car insurance, and storage unit. Can't fit everything I own in the Tesla, but I can fit a lot.
So what about meals?
Meals, since I can't cook, it's pretty much takeout or when I'm over at my friends and family. But because I'm saving so much money in other places, I can afford it.
All right, we have another question from Dennis D. He's curious about range usage in overnight camp mode.
Yes. So with the battery completely full, with my Tesla Model X with a 75 kilowatt hour battery, I'd probably get about 3 days of air conditioning, keeping it a nice cool 69 degrees. With heat, it'd probably be about 2 to 2.5 days. It's all relative, of course, to the temperature outside. If it's 20 degrees outside and I'm trying to heat it from 20 to 69, that's a 49-degree difference. Of course, it's going to use more energy. For 6 months, I actually used to stay out of a garage with my Tesla, utilizing the Tesla as my bedroom. And so if it's 20 degrees outside, it'd be 40 degrees in the garage. And then because my Tesla's black, with the insulation, probably be 40 to 55 in the Tesla. And then the vehicle would only be heating it up from 55 to 69, which would be a lot more efficient. So it's all relative.
Nice. So from Paul R, we have, do you stay plugged in all night?
It depends. If I'm at a level 2 charging station, yes. If I'm at a supercharging station, the idle fees would kill me. 60 cents a minute, or more, that's going to add up.
Okay. And Stephen Pelota is asking, would you get a Cybertruck and would you get a trailer for it?
Great question, Stephen. So I do already have a pre-order down for the Cybertruck, but as to whether I will pull the gun, depends on a few things. One, climate in the Cyber Vault. We still haven't gotten confirmation that the climate control will work in the Cyber Vault. My good friend Eli Burton over in California, who plays Starman, he actually asked Elon directly on Battery Day, will there be climate control in the Cyber Vault so people can go camping? And he said, probably. So I want to wait for confirmation before I pull the gun on that. You know, I don't want to freeze my butt off in that stainless steel vault. I'd also love it if I'd be able to fit through the hole from the Cyber Vault into the cabin so I can access my storage in there. And then I got to consider charging. I'm grandfathered into free supercharging for life with my Model X. I thought about it a bit. I would have some free charging if I got the solar roof option. I'd probably get me a half a day's worth of air conditioning, quarter a day worth of heat in optimal sun conditions. And level 2 charging would still be free, at least for the next few years, probably. So I'd probably stick to the Cybertruck itself instead of getting a trailer, because the Cybertruck itself would already be a huge upgrade over the Model X cabin. But maybe way down the road, I'll upgrade to a trailer from there. But got to wait on a few things before I decide for sure.
So Dennis D would like to know if you have any problem with dampness or window fogging.
No, none at all. I have sunshades and the tapestries, and you know, even if the windows fog up, you know, it's not really bothering me at all.
Okay. Matthew P is asking, what's your estimated monthly charging?
How much I pay for charging? Zero. Like I said, I'm grandfathered into free unlimited supercharging for life with Tesla. I got that with the referral code. And I stay at a lot of charge point and EV Connect stations, which are also free. Very rarely do I need to or go to a charging station that actually charges.
And Paul R is asking, have you thought of adding a camper tent extension that he's seen for Model X's?
Yes, I have thought about it. Definitely would be handy if I'm camping with friends and family at a camping campgrounds. But you know, so far all my friends and family every time say, "Hey, let's go camping. Let's go camping." You know, something always comes up. We were scheduled to go camping last summer. Then a big storm tore through Heckscher State Park, and there's branches and trees falling down everywhere, and they canceled the camping. But we were going to try and take one of their existing tents and try and fit it over the roof, the open trunk of my car. That way they'd have climate control.
Huh. Brian is asking, have you noticed any battery degradation? And also he's asking how often you use a supercharger.
So very little to no battery degradation. When I started off with the vehicle, I was getting about 235 miles on a full charge, charging up to 100%. Now it's probably like high 220s, mid 220s. So very little to none. And as for supercharging, definitely supercharging at least 2 to 3 days per week. But otherwise, I stick mostly to the level 2 chargers because I'm staying there overnight and I'm not really in a rush.
So Matthew P is asking how much your total out-of-pocket expenses are between your Tesla, insurance, gym membership, storage unit, everything,
I'd say about
as opposed to living in an
620.
apartment.
Okay, as opposed to living in an apartment. I'm probably saving about $200 to $300 per month. You know, when I was previously living in an apartment or renting a room, I was spending and having to pay utilities. I was probably spending about $1,300 to $1,500 a month. Now I'm spending about $1,000 to $1,200 per month living out of my Tesla.
Okay.
But one big thing to remember is I'm putting all my money to pay off this Tesla. Whereas if I was renting before, all that money is just going down the drain. I'm not getting it back. All the money I'm spending is going into this Tesla. This is an asset.
Right, right. Dennis D is asking, authorities don't confront you when parked overnight at a charger in a public garage?
No, not at all. It's an electric car, an electric car charging station. You know, nothing suspicious about that. And even the police know that I sleep in my Tesla. They're like, I love Tesla. Yeah, I can't wait to get one. Should I get the Model Y, Model X? I handed him my referral code. He's probably going to end up getting the Model Y in the next month or so.
That's great. How many miles do you have on your car? This is a question from Paul F.
In past 3 years, I put on about 66,000 miles. I've done a few road trips to, I went to Florida and back. I went to Ocean City, Maryland back, Pennsylvania back a couple of times.
All right. Here's a question that I actually was thinking myself. Paul F is asking, how long do you intend to carry on this style of living?
Until I'm tired of it. So far, it's been 3 years and I'm still going strong.
Yeah, and you seem like you're having fun.
Yeah, every couple of weeks, you know, I learn something new that helps make it easier to live in here. You know, I optimize my sunshade on the cover of my trunk a little bit. I upgrade some of the things in here a couple of months ago. I upgraded my Xbox. With the old Xbox, I can only play for like maybe an hour or so on this external battery that I had. Now with the new Xbox Series S, it's so power efficient. I can run it off my car's inverter directly, and I could play as much as I want.
Nice. Tony C asks, are your food expenses pretty high since you don't have a place to cook?
Yes. So obviously, if I was cooking, I'd be saving a bit of money. But because I'm just doing takeout all the time, but because I'm saving money in so many other places like rent, utilities, I'm still coming out on top as a net profit essentially.
Okay. Paul F asks, do you know any other people doing this?
Yes, I do. In fact, coincidentally, there was somebody else who started doing it at the exact same time as me. He was also a former Tesla employee. He also did a Model X, of course. And he also kind of worked for Lyft as well. He was a Lyft driver. He didn't work directly for Lyft like me. His name was Nico. He had his own podcast for a while. He did it for about 1.5 years. He stopped about 1 year ago, it looks like. And there's about, I've been counting, there's like about half a dozen other people out there who have been doing it under the radar. There's this one cool guy down in Miami. He's a rapper. He did this whole rap video. Yo, I live in a Tesla, yo. And it was hilarious. And there's a few other people out there living in their Teslas.
And Paul F also asks, what was your initial inspiration to do this?
Let's get that person muted first. It's like somebody's dog is growling. And muted. There we go. So my initial inspiration was I had a really crappy car before this, Nissan Sentra. In fact, I had 2 Nissan Sentras, one that was totaled in an accident. I kept breaking down every month, you know, something else, you know, the oil, you know, you gotta replace this part, you gotta replace this part. It was just eating into my wallet until it finally just broke down completely. And my roommates and tenants that I was dealing with, they were not the funnest people to live with. So I just got tired of crappy cars, crappy places to live, and living with crappy people. And the Tesla Model X fit everything. Awesome car, awesome place to live, and just living with myself. And I love myself.
Matthew P is asking, he said, you mentioned you lease your Tesla. Isn't that throwing money away as opposed to owning, or do you save money by leasing?
It would be throwing money away if I didn't plan on buying out my lease. So a lot of people forget with the Tesla Model S and the Tesla Model X, you could buy out the Tesla at the end of your lease. And I initially did a lease for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't have a lot of credit history, so it's a lot easier to get approval for financing when it's just a lease over financing. And secondly, I was a Tesla employee at the time, and there was a few perks that Tesla was throwing in at the time if you leased a vehicle. There wasn't really anything if you were financing the vehicle. They give me some extra money back on my paycheck. They took out, you know, some administrative fees from doing the lease. And so at the end of my lease, which will be in September, I plan on buying out completely with financing. It would be throwing money away, and actually I'd be having to give Tesla money away for some of the modifications that I've done and for all the overages on the miles that I've gone over. I'm supposed to only be at 30,000 on my lease, and I'm at 66,000. So I owe Tesla a lot if I gave the vehicle just back to them.
Sure. So Paul F is asking, how is your TV reception?
Well, I don't use over-the-air antenna, of course. Everything is, of course, streaming. Like I said, I had infinite hotspot over my 5G with my Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G device. So I can stream as much 1080p video. And do I have anything in 4K? I don't have anything that plays in 4K, but yeah, like I said, I'm in the middle of a Nicolas Cage marathon. I've watched about 35 Nicolas Cage movies in the past month. No buffering issues. I download 60 gigabyte games on my Xbox, no problem.
Okay. You're a braver person than I to watch not many Nicolas Cage movies. So John W is asking, it's actually about your job at Lyft, I guess. Can we specify EVs yet when using Lyft? If not, when?
So a few cities are testing out a feature called green mode. Great thing about Lyft though is that we did just announce that by 2030, our entire fleet of vehicles will be completely electric. So one day very soon, you won't even have to worry about specifying because the entire fleet will just be electric. It'll be the default.
Peter C is asking, do you ever overnight at Walmart?
I tried Walmart once or twice, you know, but there's not really much upside to Walmart over the places I stay. You know, Walmart can be a little bit noisy. I think there's only one or two Walmarts on Long Island where they do allow overnight parking. And of course, there's no charging. You know, why waste out the battery there? I still have plenty of battery when I wake up in the morning, but still, might as well be plugged in.
Anthony B has a great question. How do you wash your clothes?
Yes. So my friends and family allow me to do laundry there once a week, or otherwise I got the laundromat. The laundromat where I go to is pretty cool. They just updated the washers and you don't even have to use quarters anymore. You just scan the QR code and just load the money using your Apple Wallet.
Nice. Paul F is asking, what is your favorite dashboard meal?
Favorite dashboard meal? I mean DoorDash.
No, it says dashboard, but maybe means I think he's referring to maybe eating in front of the dashboard. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Your favorite takeout meal. What is easiest?
Gotcha. Lately, I just can't get enough of the McDonald's apple pies. So far, that is just every other place I go to for apple pie doesn't even come close to McDonald's apple pies. I just go to them just for the apple pies. Like, I won't even get the burgers. Otherwise, burgers lately, it's been Shake Shack with the Korean barbecue chicken sandwiches, which are amazing. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them. They keep giving me a notification in the app. It's just for a limited time. They're going away soon. So get your hands on one while you can. They're delicious.
I agree with you on the pies, but just keep in mind I'm type 2 diabetic now for that.
Gotta watch the
So
sugars.
yeah, Anthony B says, would you ever need a would you ever find a girlfriend in a
Oh, you're gonna
Tesla?
make me blush, man.
Well, you're very dark, so we can't see what.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, I've had many relationships come and go, but so far none of it has anything to do with my living situation. But of course, I would love to find somebody that perfectly accepts my living situation, and hey, maybe even join me. You never know. There's actually one couple that do live with each other in a Model X, and they travel the country.
Awesome. Emmanuel M asks, do you have a plan if for some reason you can no longer live in the Tesla?
Like if something, so I had to get loaners before. Some things have gone wrong with my Tesla. Like a few months ago, the heat was broken and Tesla had to take the vehicle for a day. And I do have a backup plan there. I have a whole list of what I take out of my Tesla and transfer into the loaner. So I have slept in other Teslas before. I keep some stuff in my storage unit, like my extra bed, so I don't have to pull apart my whole car just to sleep in the loaner vehicle. Of course, I have friends and family who let me stay at their homes once in a while. I still prefer my vehicle. It's safer. I got my bed, my blankets, all my charging cables. I could target the music and movies or shows that I'm watching. The speakers are right where my head is laying, so I got perfect surround sound. And God forbid there's an earthquake or natural disaster, I'd rather be in a 5-star safety rated vehicle up to collisions than a house that would probably fall apart at one of the giant 30-foot trees that would fall on top of it during a storm. But yeah, my backup plans got backup plans.
Okay. So Paul F is asking what your repair costs have been over 50,000 miles.
Yes. So let's see. The heat was a bit expensive a few months ago. That cost about $800, but I still think I'm pretty far ahead considering that I probably use the heat 10,000 times more than anybody else uses their Tesla. And got through 3 New York winters, which we get pretty chilly here. And considering all the heat itself was free, since I'm not paying for any of the electricity, I probably saved at least $8,000 in heating costs. So I still think I'm like at least $7,000 ahead there. 12-volt battery, that cost me like $180 or so, or $280 or so. Still, same thing. I used that battery for 2.5 years before it died out on me. I probably used that battery 1,000 times more than anybody else uses their Tesla because of camper mode. Sure. The 12-volt battery is what powers my cooler. I got a cooler that stays on all the time. That acts as my refrigerator. I got my inverter powering my Xbox, charging all my phones, my tablets, my computers. So I really use that. Got a lot of use out of that 12. And a few other things here and there. It's probably been less than, probably been about $1,500, give or take there, which I still think is pretty good.
Okay, we have a trivia question from John W. Says,
Ooh.
who would you say has the largest collection of Tesla-related collectibles?
Elon Musk, Franz, a few other Tesla executives, then me. I'm definitely in the top 10 worldwide. I have every possible thing that you can wear with the Tesla name or the Tesla logo. I'm wearing a Tesla hat, Tesla glasses right now. I got my Tesla dog tags. I got my Tesla t-shirt over my Tesla sweatshirt. On my left wrist, I got my Tesla Apple Watch band. What else? I got my Tesla pants on over my Tesla jogging pants. I got my Tesla blankie, and I got lots more here and there.
You'd think you'd be more of a Tesla fan. Yeah. Paul F is saying, what is the strangest question anyone has asked you when they learn you're living in your car?
The strangest question. I can't think of the strangest question right now, but the number one question everybody always asks me is, where do you go to the bathroom? Where do you go to the bathroom? Where do you go to the bathroom? I go to the bathroom at the bathroom, okay? Bathroom, that's where I go. All right, wherever I stay, there's bathrooms. So that's where I go.
Okay. And he also asks, Paul F, how much did that heating breakdown cost you? It cost, apparently he had the same problem, and it cost him about $2,000.
So I'm not sure specifically what your heating problem was, but I forgot, I think it was called a PMCS sensor or something like that. And then a motor. So total, it was about a little over, it was about $900 and change for my heating problem. It was, the sensor broke twice. Tesla replaced it the second time for free, because second time it broke, it only lasted a few months, but then the motor also broke. In fact, when it broke, I was starting to smell smoke from my Tesla, because it apparently was stuck or was overworking itself, which was causing like a smoky odor to come from the heating system. And that only cost about 180. So a little under $1,000 to get my heating system fixed. But like I said, I'd probably use $8,000 worth of electricity in heating. So I'm way out ahead there.
Okay. Paul F goes on and says, wait until your air suspension goes. It cost him over $4,000. And he's scaring the heck out of me because I also have a Model X.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Tesla doesn't include an air suspension system on the 3s and the Ys. You know, it's one less thing to go wrong. And if and when it does go wrong, it can be pretty expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, just to throw in my own thing, I just threw in a one of those lowering kits that cost $2,000. The kit itself, and about $1,000 for the install, and that's just for the front half shafts. Paul F also goes on to ask, what about Tesla underwear? You didn't mention that.
So kinda. I have two
What do you mean,
pairs
kinda?
of Tesla. I have two pairs of
You
Tesla
going commando?
shorts. No, never. That would hurt. No. So I got the Tesla shorts, and I have the original Tesla shorts, which are both act as amazing bathing suits during the summertime.
Okay. Jing G says, what's the power of your inverter?
What is it at 300 something watts? I'd have to look it up. I forgot, but I could post the link to the inverter I got off of Amazon. It's a Best Tech brand. I got two inverters actually. One in the front that powers my cooler and my charging cables when I'm charging devices in the front, and my Amazon Echo Auto. Got to be careful not to say you know whose name in here. And in the inverter in the back, that one is a bit more powerful because I got that powering my Xbox, my iPad, my two phones, and my Apple Watch all at the same time. And I believe that's like 330 watts or something. I'd have to double check.
Okay. Charlie and Susan ask, what bedding or mattress do you use?
Yes. So the Dreamcase. There's plenty of options available for your bed. You can always just get a simple blow up mattress. But I love the Dreamcase. It was specifically designed for Tesla vehicles and other vehicles as well. They measured the dimensions. They measured down to the millimeter, the best way and size for this bed to get into the vehicle. They also put amazing detail into the way how easy it is to install and folds up. You could turn it into a couch in like 10 seconds. You could fold it up and put it into like this little carrying suitcase in like two to 3 minutes. And the memory foam is just so comfortable. They actually gave me an upgraded version for free because I use their bed more than any other person on the entire planet. So they specifically and custom designed one just for me, and I live by it, and I literally live on it.
Nice. Anthony B asks, what other major maintenance have you had done on your Tesla?
So, oh, just got to turn my lights back on. Apparently, they auto go off after 30 minutes. There we go. Now you can see me. So other than the heating system, it's just been tires. So one downside about our electric cars is that they're a little bit more bottom heavy, so a little bit more susceptible to flat tires. And so replacing the tires is definitely been the most expensive part of owning the Tesla. And unfortunately, we're still not airless tires or completely vulnerable to pothole tires. Still aren't out yet, and according to Elon, aren't coming anytime soon. So definitely the tires.
Okay, we have an update from Paul F. I think he's referring to his air suspension that it lasted 50,100 miles.
Aye.
Yep. And then we have a message from Stephen P. Pilata that Tesla should pay you for torture testing the car.
I'll take the extra payroll. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then Paul F. also asks, what have you found effective for your cooler?
Yes. So I've gone through 2 coolers. The first cooler that I had was a Black & Decker car cooler. Had some advantage of the current one that I use, which is the Wagon Tech cooler. The Black & Decker cooler was definitely best in terms of aesthetics. It was all black with like a nice vegan leather on top for the cover. Unfortunately, the cover's hinge kept breaking down, and Black & Decker basically discontinued the model, and it was extremely hard to get in touch with them to get a replacement or a repair. So I upgraded to the Wagon Tech cooler, which is probably about 50% bigger. It's got 2 cup holders here. In fact, I'll actually, I could flip my camera here and I'll give you a better view of my cooler. Here we go. I got a nice little mesh net holding it back, so that way it doesn't fly backwards when when I do my 0 to 60 sprints. And I got a nice couple cup holders right here with a little coin holder trays. I put my headphones in there. And then let's open up the cooler here. Here we go. I got 1 drink in here. I got to replenish that. One downside is, and it just happened the other day, is that the power cable for the Wagon Tech cooler keeps getting bent. And it's the second time this happened to me. And unfortunately, I don't have power to it right now because of it, but I am expecting 2 replacement cables to arrive tomorrow.
Okay. Anthony B asks, how do you get your mail? What would your address for what would be your address for taxes?
Yes. So PO Box, cheap, free, easy to access. I got 24/7 access at my PO Box, and I either use that address or my stepmother, who happens to be an accountant, I utilize her address when she does my taxes.
Sounds good. That brought me to the end of the questions. So we'll give it just a couple of minutes or a minute or 2 to see if anyone comes up with any more. Oh, we have another. Dennis D says, did you say you have 2 DC outlets in your model?
I do. So the Model X comes with 2 DC ports, one in the front in the center console, and then one in the trunk near on the driver's side, closest to the trunk opening.
And Stephen Pelota is asking, what's your favorite place you've ever charged?
So I won't give away the exact location of my favorite place, but like I said before, let's just say it has beautiful views, it has great protection from the elements, and free charging.
So, and Paul F is asking, if you used an address in New Jersey, you wouldn't have to pay any sales tax on clothing. Do you have an Easy Pass?
I do have an Easy Pass, but don't want to. It's just such a pain to keep switching addresses over and over. I'd have to update the billing address of all my credit cards. I got to do update things with possibly voting, and plus, let's just say I still get a discount from a certain known company I used to work for on my Tesla swag.
Ah, that would be nice to get. Yeah, so now we're again out of questions. So pausing a little bit worked so well to get new questions. Let's do that again. Okay. From Dennis, it says, "You're a braver man than I, or me." And from Stephen Pelota, favorite place you have been in New York with your ex?
Let's see. Favorite place in New York. I love Heckscher State Park at Field 5, I believe. In fact, we did a owners club event there last fall. Pull up to the beach. It's a beautiful spot at Heckscher State Park where the field that you pull up to is literally 30 feet away from the water. And I just love backing in with the trunk facing the water. I open up the trunk just a little bit. I creep it open and I lay down with my head right there. And I get a beautiful breeze and I love just taking naps there all the time. That's probably my favorite place.
Nice. And Charlie and Susan say, can you say more about window and ceiling coverings?
Yes. So the great thing about the Model X is a lot of like nooks and crannies, small spaces that you could tuck things into. I learned a cool trick with my Cyber Owl tapestries. How I hold them in is I lower the window on the outside just a little bit, and then I pulled the tapestry into the opening at the top of where the glass of the window goes into, and I tucked it in there, and then I closed the window on it, and that holds a perfect fit for the tapestry. And then the towels took me a while to figure this out. I use clothespins to hold it up from the front, from where the edge of the panoramic windshield is. And then I tuck them into the corners, and that meets up perfectly with the tapestries. And that gives me a full 360 area of privacy in the back of my Tesla.
Nice. Paul F is asking, what OD you want to be when you grow up? What OD?
No.
What do I want to do when I grow up?
Yes.
So I would personally love to be working on the software of autonomous driving vehicles. That technology really personally motivates me. Unfortunately, I lost friends in car accidents due to human error. And so if I help bring this technology out there, hopefully that will never have to happen again. And this technology will probably save more lives than airbags and seatbelts combined. And fortunately, I worked for, and I'm currently working for, two of the biggest players in the game for autonomous driving technology. I work for Tesla. I'm driving my Tesla. I got the autopilot paid for. I don't have FSD paid for yet. I got to wait for the subscription to afford it. And then Lyft, which is doing amazing work with level 5 technology. And also just in general, Lyft and rideshare, just keeping, dangerous drivers off the road instead of, driving when you feel not feeling so good. Call a Lyft.
Nice. And we ran out of questions once more. So if anyone has any questions, this would be great time to put them in. Oh, got another one. Jing Jing G says, maybe a question for everyone. Have you tried car camping with your Tesla? Going to try a weekend car camp trip this summer. Carson, this might be a great time for you to pitch your upcoming event, even though it's not officially listed.
Yes. So I am actually working on getting us all together for one big Tesla Owners Club New York State camping event where we can all go together and camp as one. We'll have events, activities. In fact, there's actually one other owners club planning their own camping event. And I'm just waiting to see how theirs goes and, kind of steal from theirs, what went well, what went wrong, so we can kind of make ours even better. I'm scouting out some locations. One place that I found is, I think it may be the one. Let's just say you can rent a hot tub and have it delivered right in front of your Tesla. If that doesn't sound awesome, I don't know what is.
We got a clap from Jing Jing G. Okay. Anthony B says, have you ever thought of writing a book about living in a Tesla? That's a great idea.
Well, I'm more of a visual guy, or audio guy. I don't really read books, I listen to audiobooks and I binge movies and shows. So I'm thinking of continuing my How to Live in a Tesla video series. What you just saw was part one. Part two will, of course, cover some of the subjects you guys asked me here. And if you have any ideas for more subjects for me to cover. And of course, I will be doing it in a different voice. Apparently, living in a Tesla has the side effect of changing the accent of your voice. It's strange. I'm thinking Christopher Walken next. And remember, Christopher Walken is actually the official voice of Tesla. He's one of the Easter eggs. Cowbell, I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
It's funny that you said that, because Paul F is asking, where are you from? He's also asking you what your education is.
So Long Island born and raised. Education, I did some college with computer science. I dropped out to enlist in the Army. Was trained in radio and communications and security repairing for a few years. And the plan is to get back into school, possibly do a software engineering boot camp. There's no need today to do 2 to 4 years or 6 years of schooling anymore, and what you can learn in probably a few months.
Well, on behalf of myself, and I'm sure our entire club, thank you for your service.
I live to serve.
Anthony B is asking, he's saying, have a person write it for you, and you get a boatload of money.
Ghostwriter. Okay,
yes.
Okay. I'll consider a ghostwriter.
Yeah. And Jing Jing G is saying, how to follow this car camp event. Oh, he wants to know how to follow the event.
Yes, so stay tuned. Feel free to email me if you have any ideas on activities and locations. It's still in the middle stages of planning. Probably thinking of doing it. Let's see, the Colorado Owners Club is doing theirs in late May or early June. So we do theirs at least 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, so we can learn from theirs what went well, what went wrong, and what to improve on. They're the first ever club to be doing a camping event in the nation, as far as I could tell. So stay tuned. Feel free to email me. I'll put the event up on the website, of course, when it's ready.
Great. Anthony B says, have you ever been on TV to discuss how you've been living?
I wouldn't say I've been on the airwaves, but of course I've been on online with a few famous YouTubers. I had the honor of being interviewed by Rich Benoit about a year and a half ago.
Rich
That video's
Rebuilds.
from Rich Rebuilds. That video's got up to about 250,000 views. I also had the honor of being interviewed by Eli Burton and Anwar Beck from the Tesla Geek Show. For those of you will know Eli from dressing up as Starman and the Adventures of Starman and the Tesla Adventures Owners Club out in California. Both of those interviews are up online on YouTube. All you have to do is Google or search on YouTube, Tesla veteran lives in Model X, or Carson Gallo lives in his Tesla, and you'll find me.
Perhaps when we send this out, we can somehow attach links to that so people can look for more information. That would be good.
Yeah, it's a great idea. So when we get this uploaded and the how to live in a Tesla, I'll probably attach links to the previous video and interview.
John W says, agreed, thank you. But I think we've gone so far that I think that's now just so disconnected. I'm not sure it was connected to. But he agrees with us.
Gotcha.
Paul F says, what are your favorite books? What has influenced your thinking?
So not a lot of book reading. The last great book that I read was The Good Earth. Amazing story about feudal China, and somebody starting from the bottom and working his way up. But its films is what really draws my attention. In fact, I actually have been on the set of a couple major films. I snuck onto them actually, and I was on the set of The Week of, one of Adam Sandler's last Netflix comedies, and The Irishman. And the only thing I needed to get onto set was a Netflix hat and a box of Cinnabon. That's all I needed. I'm the Netflix guy. How's the production going? I'm here to deliver Cinnabon to the stars. I got 3 feet away from Adam Sandler. I was going to offer him a Cinnabon, but he was dressed up in a suit and he was snacking on an apple. I offered Rachel Dratch one, and she just started breaking out laughing hilariously. They offer Cinnabon on the set now. There's Steve Buscemi over there. There's Alan Covert. There's Robert Schmigel. And The Irishman. Oh, so many people.
Nice. Paul F goes on to ask if you've ever read The 4-Hour Workweek, and says that it basically details what you're doing or goes over what you're doing.
I have not. If it's about living in a vehicle, yeah, I'd definitely be interested in it. I've read a few books about van life, and I've taken some tips from there and improved on them, of course, and adjusted, of course, because it's not necessarily as big as a van and not necessarily staying on, what's it called? Bureau of Land Management land, which unfortunately in New York we have none of.
He's correcting me. It's not details, dovetails. It
Dovetails,
dovetails with what you're doing. Sorry.
I'll definitely look into it. 4-Hour Workweek.
Okay. Crystal C says, have you driven to Canada or Mexico?
So I haven't gone international with my Tesla yet, but I have been to Canada for a Tesla trek, where I went to Niagara Falls to visit the Tesla Gigafactory there. And I walked both sides of the border to visit both Nikola Tesla statues.
Nice. And then Steven says, feel free to take one last question. I guess he says we're done, so we've got to wrap it up. It's 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So
60 minutes.
So we have one last question from Paul F. Do you have an Overdrive account? If you have a library card, you can get free audio emails?
Audiobooks, probably.
Okay, audio.
I do not have an Overdrive account, but I do have something similar where you have to physically go to the library for some of the deals where they give you free movies or shows on your phone or tablet or computer. That might have changed since COVID. I haven't used it for a while. But I do have Amazon Prime, and I do get discounts on Audible books. And I do have a few Audible books in my library. One of my friends was telling me about this book, where it's basically Sherlock Holmes in Rome, which sounds pretty interesting to listen to.
Okay.
But mostly, I love listening to and falling asleep to the Twilight Zone radio show. Classic.
Okay, so that's about it for the questions then. And thank you so much for the interview. And do you have any final words?
Yes. So thank you again, Dan, for co-hosting. And thank you to everyone here in the audience for joining with your great questions. And if you want to learn more on how to live in a Tesla, stay tuned for more videos on the Tesla Owners Club New York State YouTube channel. And I guess I'll see you at the charging station. Till then, guys.